if you're going through some sort of shit in your life, chances are someone's been through the same shit before you. Some poet or philosopher has been through the same type of crap and they've written about it. And when you find that poem or that piece of writing and you think to yourself, bugger me, this bastard's just summed it all up. Kind of comforting. Know what I mean? There you go, Nico. Alright, it's from the fucking car again. I hope you liked the Two Hands intro. For those who got it, good. For those who didn't, Two Hands, Heath Ledger, Roseburn, Brian fucking Brown. Go watch it. So I think I fucked the gearbox when I took the extension housing off to check the speedo cable, the drive gear. I'm just going to drain it and see if glitter comes out, and if it does, if we get no glitter, then I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll stuff something up with the alignment of the drive gear. I think the drive gear and the driven gear weren't making contact, so I bent something to see if I could get it to work. Got a nice clean customized Penrite oil drain. Let's see what we get here. We're looking at it. Oh, fucking looking at me. Great. Oh, fuck you. Fucking. I don't know if you can see that. No, of course not. Let's do that. Yeah, here we go. Well, just from the look, there's no fucking glitter in that. Which is good. There's no problem with that at all. It's nothing but fresh oil. So what was making my whiny noise then? Bugger. Alright, so I've got the gear out. Speedo drive gear. You can see on that, if it's focusing, there's like a little bit of weird wear. I did offset this to bring the gear down closer to the drive gear. I may have overcooked it doing that, but I got a notch marked so I can just clock this to wherever I need to move this toward or away from the drive gear. There is a fair bit of play in these to allow for alignment and all of the different size gears that can go on here, which ultimately all have different diameters. So my thought is maybe I've got to grab one of my spare gears out, and it's actually slightly smaller than the old one. So if the drive gear is worn away too far that it doesn't drive anymore, so I would need to replace the drive gear, but I didn't do that. And maybe just when I bent this, I've pushed it too far, and that's what's making the racket. It's possible because, you know, it is inside of a gearbox, metal. They don't like it, they make a lot of noise, but I just don't expect a plastic gear to be making that much noise inside of a gearbox. So I do have a spare box. I am going to pull this one out, put the other one in, and see if that solves the problem. You're not taking my fucking car. Just had the gearbox done. Good, it means it fucking works. Give me the keys. Here we go. No noise in neutral. That's something, right? Exact same fucking noise. So now I'm wondering if it's like, maybe it's a uni doing something weird. Could be a uni joint, and like when I pulled the tail shaft out of the car, I tilted the uni more and exacerbated the problem. Definitely sounds like it's coming from right next to me. not from down the back. Fucking hell, man. Fucking annoying, but the Uni's a lot easier to put a new one in. Just trying to think how long the one's been in. It's in for, in kilometres, not many, maybe 40,000. Oh yeah, Speedo still doesn't work, so that's a bonus. Oh fuck, is that recording? I'm at it. So, fucking, I don't know how much of this you can see, but I'm going to wax a little bit philosophical on yous. Check out my mad modified. That just lets me get in behind. Let's see if that works. Get focus going. A little bit of grind off. Lets me get in behind and use it on my, oh, wrong way, missed up. There we go. Yeah. Use it on my uni joints. Oh, fuck, it was the right way after all. Oh my god. I fucking hate chasing problems in cars when you just have this habit of assuming that it's the worst fucking thing in the world, and it's probably not. So replaced gearbox, same noise, exact same noise from two gearboxes, unlikely. I'm going to assume, which makes an ass out of you and me, that it's the oh, hang on, I fucked up. Oh, that's going to come all the way off now. It's the only way that's happening. I'm going to assume that it's the uni joint, because you have this thing, all these things that happen, and sometimes you ignore some stuff, and sometimes you fucking don't ignore it and you fix it, and think about what I've been chasing, the problem, and maybe I've done myself a mischief here by just assuming that one problem was going to solve, one thing was going to solve my issues, and it obviously hasn't. So, but the odds of the gearbox having the exact same injury to both gearbox, I mean, it's a T5 for God's sake. They're not quantum physics, they're not. They're renowned for being a bit agricultural, but being able to handle some punishment. They don't like high torque in fifth, but I mean, still, it's not like my engine outputs a shitload of torque. Like, it's not like I'm boosting fucking supercharged, or nothing like that. So the odds are a lot better. What I've actually done is fuck the uni joint. Now, I was having a little clunky feeling when I pulled the car down and started doing stuff. I found that this was broken, like my linkage torque control arm was broken, so I fixed it, beefed it up and whatever, then put it back in. Now I've got this crazy noise, but in the meantime, when I pulled the uni out, the tail shaft out, it gets had a lot more bend on it, like almost like the front uni was a little loose, but I didn't think anything of it. It's been in there for 40,000 k now. It's done a bunch of big trips. Maybe there's actually a high angle on that I don't know about. What I do have, I have an angle finder, and I'm going to check the angle of the output shaft and the angle of the diff here, and just see what the difference is in degrees, because I might be way out of phase for all I know, and that could be causing some problems too. But right, so showing 3.5 degrees difference between my uni and my tail shaft angle, and uni's like less than 8 degrees, way less than 8. 3.5 is like nothing. That's pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I will check the difference between the tail shaft output and the nose of the diff, because I've got a feeling the diff is a little bit pointed downwards. That's kind of okay on a leaf spring rear end because it will flex upwards, but I do have that link to stop it from happening. So I might need to loosen the U-bolts that hold the diff and just point the nose up a little just to help it, you know, get a bit better alignment. So here's what I mean by my Uni. Super smooth this way, right? Really nice. Feel it move easily. This way, like, there you go. I'm actually just moved the whole shaft, trying to twist. It's very tight. Like, it feels icky. It feels notchy. I can't hear a noise in it, but that's could be what's making something else interesting. Have a look at how this cup sits. It's below surface level on that. This one's flush. I'm going to pull those out and have a look at them. I don't know if that's a problem because that could just be a difference in casting that matters a little bit for balance, but for this vehicle doesn't matter. Yoke seems in good nick otherwise. There's no nicks or burrs or anything on it that could have created the noise I'm getting. I'm hoping this solves my problem, but that is like, it is super tight and clicky, like it's notchy. So I'm hoping that front uni is a problem. Anyway, I've got both unis. I'm going to replace them both while I'm in here because muzzle. This one looks definitely like, well, even in it a go, and that's working at 4 degrees all the time. Could give me a clunk just through the center if it's worn out the center. It could be too many degrees, it's not happy. There is a difference between the front and the back of a couple of degrees, but I don't know if I want to fuck with that too much. Alright, new unis are in. So this is the gearbox end, nice and smooth now. No clicks, no nothing. So I'm hoping that that is actually taking care of my problem. I also did, now, the uni I've scored here is actually a Koyo brand. And they come with a grease nipple, which is amazing if you've got a grease nipple with a head small enough to get to it. So I've got a pom-pom gun, so I can get to that, but I think in order to grease it, I might still have to take the shaft out. On the other end here, I had a Hardy Spicer. There's no nipple in this, so to grease this, you actually, because this one uses straps like a U-bolt around the end of the thing, you can undo it, undo the strap, take the cap off, load the cap full of grease, and then pump it in, and it actually pushes grease right through the cross into both caps. That's how that works. So this was a little tight when I first put it in, so I got my special tool and just on the back edge of the cap there, and give it a little tap both sides just to push the cap back out so it's hard against the circlip and just loosens it up nice. So this is good to go back in. We'll chuck it in there and see if it solves the fucking problem. Alright, it's back in. Tail shaft in. Go for a drive and suss it out. So thought I'd do this. I'm sure there's some people who follow me from the US, like maybe 2 of you. So a lot of this car is in SAE in inches. So these are 7/16, for example. But if you have a full set of metric, you can pretty much take care of everything that's SAE and metric, but the reverse is not true. Mainly because of half-inch. A half-inch is 12.7 mils, thereabouts. 12 mil will not go on. 13 mil is good enough. But if you've got a 12 mil bolt and a half-inch socket, that socket will fucking spin for all day on that bolt. And the one under it, the 7/16, is about an 11, which is what this is. So this is an 11. I'm working on a 7/16 and it fits really good. That's because the 7/16 is like 10.92 or something. 3/8 is 9.5, which is right in the middle, which is a pain in the ass, but 10 will work on it. But a 3/8 socket will not do a 10 mil, and a 7/16 socket will not do a 10 mil. So you've got a metric set, especially if it's a 6-point and not a 12-point, it'll do pretty much everything. There you go. I said it. Swordsy will hate me for saying that, but he'll get over it. Anyhow, I'm going to take this for a spin. If it works, I'm going to reward myself by going for a surf. No reward surf for Mika. Fuck, this has got me beat. I'm trying to think of... It has to be something I changed, right? Has to be something I changed when... Oh, I guess... Possibly the diff angle? Maybe when I fixed... maybe when I fixed the torque arm, I've made it so that the diff is pointed too far one way, and the phasing is just this. The sound, it sounds like that, but like soft. Like I could, and under full throttle, it's not there. And under no throttle, it's not there. So that's what made me think. Fuck. Harmonics in cars are like a weird fucking thing, man. Just one little thing. Like on a T5 as standard in a V6 Commodore, there's a massive chunk of metal bolted to the back end of the thing just because it stops a harmonic and stops a vibration and a noise. This has got me fucked. I'm not worried that the tail shaft's going to fall out of it anymore. And I don't think it's a gearbox anymore unless I've busted both gearboxes exactly the same way. The joyous bit of this, if I can figure it out, is that I've got two gearboxes I know are good then. So it still does sort of sound like it's coming from under behind me, sort of here in this meow area. And the back of the gearbox is pretty much bang on here, right on top of the power window switches. It sounds like it's sort of coming from, but it's, like I could turn up the stereo and hum down the highway, I think, without worrying about it. There is a lot of play in the diff, but again, why suddenly? Why? The only reason I can think that it's suddenly a problem is because I fixed that. Maybe that's it. Maybe I've just pulled the diff to the wrong angle because I fixed that. Because I put a bunch of bracing in it. If it's shortened it and tightened it, it'll change the angle. It only has to shorten it a tiny bit to change the angle by a fair bit because it's a long, long rod right up to the front where the angle finder did tell me that it was wrong. That it's not in sync. Maybe I'll do some research and see how bad that is. See what the spec, like there's an, it's got to be within a certain amount. And I'm talking 3 degrees of flex to the front. The other thing I noticed is I could lift up the back of the gearbox a long way, which would help that angle as well. It'd pull that whole back of the, well, maybe it's a combination of stuff that's happened. Like maybe the back of that gearbox is the mount in it sagged, and it's pulled the back of the gearbox down. I don't know. I'm only assuming that the mount is still good. It could be fucked. Can I pull that out without? Probably not. Bugger. Fuck me. Fucking cars. The cool thing is, like, I fucking hate this shit, but I love it too because I like figuring shit out, and I like that there's gonna be a result. There's gonna be something that comes out, and I go, oh fuck, that's it, and I'll fix it. But right now, it's kicking my ass. Yeah, well, wondering what I'm doing. I'm still trying to fix this fucking thing. So I was doing some testing, like loading and unloading everything in different force, and just see how it felt doing different things. And I found a clunk in it that went away when there was more load applied. Now, I don't know if that's because I was too much noise from the engine, you couldn't hear it anymore. So anyway, I'm rolling through the car park in the supermarket, and just listening to it and trying to do different things. And I put in first, had him first at low speed, so I could hear the click. And then I loaded up, so I put my left foot on the brake just to slow the car down and put some pressure on the throttle just to give it a bit more load. And then there was this massive ping, and the noise got a million times worse, and it's definitely coming from the back end. So part of the problem with the panel van is it's not as obvious where the noise is coming from when you're driving. I don't know if this is true for all leaf spring vehicles, but I thought the noise was the back of the gearbox, and it could have just been as far back as the diff, and I'm only just hearing it there. So this diff is shortened to suit, has the right saddles on it, and took a long time to fucking set up. So I'm not gonna. I might be learning how to rebuild a diff. Try and get this off. I'm trying to do it while you're watching. It's not fucking happy with me doing that. I'll see if any chunks come out of it. Right. We're recording. You ready for this? Oh yeah, cool. So that's one chunk that's missing. Looks like it. I think I know where that chunk is. Is that it? Yep. Just all of that. Let's see if I can get a zoom in a bit. That's pretty fucking brutal, man. Well, that's your problem right there. Alright. I'm going to edit this video now and upload it. I don't know how long it's going to be till I get to the diff. A couple of weeks at least. So I've decided I'm going to do a ratio change to 336. The Commodore that the T5 came out of ran a 337 rear end in the M78 Borg Warner diff. So that's close enough to 336, which will give me, I think, just a couple, like 10% more RPM on the top end. So 2200 at 110 instead of 2000, which is probably going to be nice. But I'm also going to do what Evo suggested, and I'm going to make a cool thing out of this to hang off my rear view mirror. He said to hang it like a shark's tooth, but mate, it's fucking huge. It'd put some holes in your bloody chest if you hung it around your neck. Maybe this little fella, maybe this one would do. Make a necklace out of that. Just make it out of that one. That'll be alright. Alright, that's it. Fucking peace.